Yeah, gotta love him. So we're getting close to wrapping this up. Any guys in spring, just real quick, I want to do this quick. Anybody that's really jumped up or fallen on your guys' boards?
Yeah, I mean, we've already. It doesn't matter because he's back in the pipes. But I think Cone had a great spring. I mean, that everybody knows that. Pistol Pete, it's like him and Andy Fem came out gangbusters in the kind of the regular season, but similar to the fall when it's playoff time, you know, Pistol Pete didn't put the puck in the net. And that's, he had some tough he always has the hardest matchups, but he's your number one guy. If you're going to win, you need him to score. So but is his draft stock going to change? Probably not. In Pete's mind, he thinks that he's like a viable option for 2 or 3 overall, but there's no chance that Taylor and Proctor aren't going 1-2. There's no chance that Busta's not taking Sugar. So his draft stock is solidified. He will be a North Star, and that's going to be interesting.
Unless you trade.
Barring a trade, but if no trade, he'll be a North Star, and we'll, try to, achieve that elusive keg together. But I'd say that's kind of stock down. Dave P, stock high. I would tell anyone that will listen, though, a lot of this production is coming in the second line with Rattler on his left. So whereas Pete gets the tough first line matchup, Dave P's out there against the second line benders, and he's got Rattler with him, and he's putting the puck in the net. So definitely stock up for Dave P, but definitely a little asterisk, just buyer beware.
Do you buy at all that Dave P has started to learn to shoot because he's going to his son's hockey practice?
I do. I'm buying on that to some degree. He actually, would shoot the puck a little bit, and every once in a while it goes in, So we'll see. Stock up on Dave P, but again, if Dave P was on that top line, is he going to produce? I don't think so. But if you can get him late enough and he's slotted into that second line, I think that's right where you want him.
I think you chose kind of 2 of my guys that are stock up or stock down. For me, the other 3 on my kind of top 5 list, I had Andy Fem. I hadn't seen him play before. His first season playing in spring. You kind of notice the Frontenacs lacked a little bit of their bite when he wasn't in the lineup. When he was in the lineup, they would get goals, and he made Pete look better overall. To me, people have Pete over Fem. I would flip-flop it. I would put Fem over Pete. He's just a younger Pete, in my opinion, and can score goals sometimes more. Nothing on Pete, because Pete's a great player, too, and can shut down forwards. But I'd flip-flop those 2. And then I'd also seen Mr. Wright before his injury. For a lower-end draft pick, your 9-10, he was playing lights out this spring. He was sat in that second line with Dave P. and Rattler, and he contributed a lot and did a lot of work there. So it kind of sucks to see him with an injury. It'd be great to draft him late in rounds and see kind of how the injury plays out. But he's out. He would be on my radar if I was a GM. And then other guy I liked seeing a lot was Peso. Kind of always underneath the radar. He's the guy you always trade first on your team for some reason. But Peso, his game has kind of been elevated the past, I want to say, 6 months. I saw some games from Djibouti when he was on Twitch in the finals. I saw some games when this season when I'm sitting back there playing goalie quarterback, and he's always got that like one trick he does. This year, that wasn't that one trick. He had like trick 2 or 3, put it behind his back, take it to the net. So I think Peso's stock could have gone up a little bit here for some GMs.
So for me, my stock up would be Nick Myers. Apparently he hasn't drank in a couple months, probably gotten a little bit better shape. He's been looking good out there. He's a player for me over the last couple of years where one game, you're like, he's starting to find it. It's clicked for him. He knows what he's doing, and the next game he'll disappear. Well, coming this spring, it's been on pretty much the whole time. I feel like he's jumped up a couple rounds there. I think my stock down would be Paul Proctor. I mean, another spring come and go. No mini keg. I mean, it's time to pick it up. It's time to start training again. I don't know what's up with that guy.
You can't say Paul Proctor's stock is down when he's the reigning Monday Night Lights champion. He's quite literally like Troy, like Troy hero, like some Greek hero god. I mean, he's won 3 out of 3 seasons he's played in so far. So it's like
you say that, but what are we talking about? We're talking about Matt Taylor as a possible number 1. If you don't go number 1, your stock is down.
Yeah, I see. I see what Piercy's saying. I also see what Hedis is saying. It's like, but to me, you're the champ until you're not. So regardless of who's drafted 1 or 2, it's like it's Proctor's league until he's dethroned. But I will say I agree with Piercy to some degree. He's definitely got some floaty tendencies and blah blah blah. But but I think that's just all part of his process. I think some of us say it's just spring and mean it like it's just spring, and others are say it's just spring, but they're just as competitive as ever. I definitely fall in the latter category. To me, it's not just spring. It's like I'm competitive and I want to win every time. I think Proctor's just like, shit, it's spring. It's like, I'll let somebody else take a crack at winning.
And in all serious, let's not forget, Proctor's really just over a year away from that injury where last year he was still the best or one of the best guys out on the ice. And he was still coming off that bum ankle, or I don't know what the injury was exactly, but you hear guys ACLs, all those injuries, they come back, they're mediocre that first year. Next year, they're back to normal. So, maybe with a little bit of motivation going on to try to step up your game, step up your cardio, plus you get that confidence back in your leg and you can go all out again. All of a sudden, Matt Taylor, this is my league, baby.
Yeah, we'll see.